Here in Australia, you've probably picked up that a pretty heated debate is developing over the federal government's proposed internet restrictions. Meanwhile, a small country in Northern Europe is heading in exactly the opposite direction. Of all places, Iceland is about to become a world leader when it comes to freedom of information. And as a result, it's attracted a mysterious Australian to its shores. Julian Assange is the founder of an investigative website, Wikileaks. Well, you might ask, Wiki what? Well, literally millions of people around the globe logged on when Wikileaks posted the recent video showing Iraqis being gunned down by a US military helicopter. Till now, Assange, the scourge of governments and bureaucrats who want to keep their dealings secret, has himself been adept at keeping out of the public eye. That is, until Mark Davis tracked him down.
It is only in open and free societies that people can have an event like this, where people can protest, where people can...
The Oslo Freedom Forum has pulled a diverse but very powerful crowd. Former Polish President Lech Walesa, Malaysian opposition leader Anwar Ibrahim, founder of PayPal and human rights supporter Peter Thiel, and a mercurial Australian who seems to be just now emerging from the shadows, Julian Assange.
He risks his life to promote transparency. Please welcome Julian Assange.
For the past 3 years, Assange has been one of the key, mostly anonymous figures behind a controversial website, Wikileaks.
So I'm not sure how many people here are familiar with the basics of my work. Now let's try and go very...
The site is designed to encourage employees within government, the military and the private sector to anonymously leak key internal documents onto the Wikileaks servers.
And expose them where they can be opposed.
Wikileaks' most recent bombshell was a video leaked from the US military.
Come on, fire!
It showed the killing of 12 people, including 2 Reuters journalists, and the shelling of civilians, including children who went to their aid. If there was anyone who hadn't heard of Wikileaks before, they certainly had after this video hit the airwaves around the world.
That worked.
Yeah, it really worked.
Really worked out.
That was...
We went to the Dragon's Cave.
Yeah.
While it was asleep, very quickly.
Yeah.
And pissed in the corner.
And
then left.
Yeah.
In the past couple of years, Wikileaks has revealed a remarkable range of documents. NATO's military strategy for the war in Afghanistan, the Australian government's secret blacklist of internet sites, even the operating manuals from Guantanamo Bay.
But he was afraid that the American authorities are going to chase you down and go after you.
Oh, well, they've been trying to do it for a while.
Watch it, he said.
But the more prominent the stories have become, attention has shifted to who Wikileaks is, and in particular, its most prominent organiser.
You are the only one which is sounding like a pure angel.
Me?
Yes.
A pure angel?
Yeah,
it's just the hair.
No.
To date, Assange has been totally media shy or just impossible to contact.
Can you get your autograph, please? Come on. Yes.
A moving target, difficult for either governments or journalists to pin down.
Who to?
Arnie. A-R-N.
Until now, he has refused to do any interviews about his life or work and been labelled difficult or more often paranoid by a number of publications. The Sunday Times referred to him as elusive as a modern-day pimpernel and an international man of mystery, according to the Sydney Morning Herald.
But to date, Wikileaks has been certainly viewed as a shadowy type of organisation, very hard.
Just because we don't have time to answer journalists' questions doesn't
that
mean
makes
we're
it very shadowy.
Doesn't mean we're shadowy. This is just like some Hollywood movie, shadowy.
Well, but you are shadowy. You have no office, you have no location, you have no spokespeople, you've had nothing.
We're sensible. I mean, we understand some of the forces against us, some of the legal forces and some of the intelligence forces. So we take sensible precautions.
Well, I guess one of the advantages of being so fluid is that there's no office to raid, there's no
Yes.
computer to seize.
That's right.
It's hard to pin WikiLeaks down.
Yeah, that's right. And there's not merely me being fluid, but rather everyone being a bit fluid.
Who is everyone?
To call Assange fluid is an understatement. WikiLeaks has no headquarters and Assange has no permanent home. He mostly roams around the world on his own schedule with whatever he can cram into his backpack, and for a few days he lets me tag along.
It is quite remarkable. You're running your part of this organisation. You're running it from buses and train stations.
Yes.
On a $300 laptop. It's hardly the image of some big supercomputer system and bunkers.
We have those.
You have them too, yeah.
We have those, but we don't carry them in our pocket.
Yeah.
Assange names Kenya and Iceland as places he would go if he was sick or in trouble, but he's rarely in either place.
You're constantly on the move. Is that a security issue for you, or is it a personal choice?
I don't know. So, no, it's not running from anything. It's just that there are opportunities, and I like travel. Maybe not quite so much as I've been doing in the past few weeks, but I like travelling every 6 weeks. After 6 weeks, I start to get itchy feet.
Assange agrees to talk for the first time about his background in Australia, his previous hacking activities there and the charges he faced, and his current role in WikiLeaks.
Well, let's start with who you are. What is your background? What is your childhood and your youth?
So I don't know. How do I sum up?
Is it true? 30 schools.
37.
37 schools.
One of them was correspondence school. I was in a theatre family, and we were touring around. Some people get horrified by this. Oh, you poor thing, you went to all these schools. But actually, during this period, I really liked this. There was a second period from the age of about 10. My mother had become involved with a former person who seems to be the son of Anne Hamilton Byrne, from Anne Hamilton Byrne cult in Australia. And we kept getting tracked down, possibly because of leaks within the social security system, and having to leave very quickly to a new city and go move under assumed names.
Assange first came to notice in Australia in 1995 when he was charged with 30 hacking offences.
Julian Assange and James Carter allegedly accessed computer systems around the world through weak links in the internet system. Jeff Chettle said Assange had developed a program to collect passwords, meaning the whole computer opened up to him and he could walk around like God Almighty.
We were young, we hadn't done anything for criminal gain. We had done this out of curiosity, challenge and some activism. Some anti-nuclear and other forms of activism, and we hadn't destroyed anything.
The court was told the men even tampered with the police investigation into hacking at the ANU. Police claim the men managed to
So if you're a teenager in a suburb of Melbourne, this was an incredibly intellectually liberating thing.
It was an activity he began in the early 90s and involved breaking into police, telcos and US military computers.
But you're a kid and you're getting into American military installations of some sort, right? This is extraordinary.
Yeah, I mean, we had a back door in the US Military Security Coordination Center. This is the peak security for controlling the security of MILNET, the US military internet. We had total control over this for 2 years.
But that wasn't all that hackers from Melbourne were involved in at the time.
The US space agency NASA is one of the victims of the Melbourne computer hacking syndicate. American investigators, including the FBI, contacted Australian authorities with their suspicions.
The case of a computer worm that stalled a NASA space launch was